I want a caveat. Are you ready for this?
I hope so.
I believe that there's a chance that Draymond, because you got to remember, when you're suspended, you have to be out of the arena 2 hours before game time.
Okay.
Skip Bayless, this is going to sound bizarre. I think there's a chance that Draymond Green is going to be in the building. I think there's a chance that Joe Lacob, the owner, is going to be willing to take the fine and somehow, some way have Draymond Green in that building. Because remember, it's a championship. It's a championship on the line. If they win, it's a championship celebration. The gold confetti is going to be descending from the ceiling of the Oracle, et cetera, et cetera. Draymond is allowed to be there for the celebration, but he's not supposed to be there during the game. But these are special circumstances. And if I'm Joe Lacob, if I'm the owner, see, this is the kind of stuff I love about somebody like a Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban would be so defiant, so ticked off by this decision from the league that he's the type of dude that'll have the guy, the Draymond, sitting right next to him. You know what I'm saying? Watching the game and just pay the damn fine. I wish Joe Lacob would do something like that. Something along those lines. Something inspirational like that. I think Golden State will win this game. I think those boys will show up without Draymond Green. Clay and Steph will catch fire. The bench, their depth will step up, you know, and do what they do because they're all about next man up philosophy, okay, strength in numbers. And I think it'll be too much for this Cleveland Cavaliers squad to overcome. Without Draymond around, I think LeBron goes berserk, understanding how he will look if he doesn't. And as a result, without having Draymond to be concerned about, even though Iguodala is his primary defender. Remember, now that Draymond is out, Iguodala is going to have to play multiple roles, and because of it, it might take some of the weight off of LeBron James, and he might be free to wreak havoc and inflict damage. I think without something inspirational along the lines of Draymond Green, they go back to Cleveland for Game 6. But if Draymond finds a way to be in that building, I think that they'll find a way to win this game. They'll feed off of that energy. They'll know their teammate got screwed over, and they will respond emphatically. And they will sit up there and be hitting raining threes from all over the place and close Cleveland out.
Okay, if memory serves, I heard earlier today the fine's only $2,000 for having Draymond on the premises during the game.
I don't know what
I think I heard that in our meeting. I'm not sure about it.
They could easily.
But what I'm saying is, Joe Lacob, I think he can afford $2,000.
So.
I don't know for sure.
Well, with this league, you never know.
Yeah.
You know what they would retro or what punishment they would try to inflict for such a level of insubordination. But to me, you know, if I'm Draymond, if I'm the Warriors, I buy this man a ticket. I make sure he's in that game courtside or something like that in a suit sitting right next to Joe Lacob, right across from their bench. If that were me, that's what I would be looking to have him do. Sit right there cheering the team on. I think it's absolute. Listen, this is the championship. Can we please get away from trying to act like every game means the same thing? There's a difference between a regular season game and an NBA Finals game. This is a championship on the line. And for this man not to be allowed in the building after such a bogus ruling, it's annoying to me.
Okay. I got to tell
would
you,
do it.
Just me, if Draymond Green winds up in a courtside seat in civilian clothes, I believe that Commissioner Silver would send security to escort him out. It's just a terrible look for the NBA. It's against the rule, right?
He's not playing. He's not playing.
I know, but it's against the rule. You can't be in the building.
You don't want him to play, right? You don't want him to play. What? He's listen. We got Tom Brady with the Deflate Gate going to court. You understand? Appealing every decision or whatever. If you're Draymond Green, what's wrong? If you spend your money and you spend your hard-earned money and you buy a ticket, what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Okay.
I would do it.
I like your theory, but I'm going to go back to reality here.
And you keep thinking it's not reality. Don't underestimate it.
I won't. I'm watching. I'll be watching at the start of the game for Draymond in a courtside seat. But here's my take. The statistics scream how valuable Draymond has been to this team, as you well know. He led this team in plus-minus during the regular season over Steph Curry. And he is running away with plus-minus leadership in the postseason over Klay Thompson, who's second on the team. The numbers say he should be a finals MVP candidate. It's still up in the air. Steph got back in the conversation, obviously, with his 38 the other night. But Draymond is at least a candidate for MVP in the finals. My point is, they are going to miss him basketball-wise. They're going to miss him defending the rim against LeBron's drives, and they're going to miss him spreading the ball, sharing the wealth, moving things around as sort of the point forward of the offense. It's a big loss. It's a gaping hole. I hear what you're saying. If you just play out of your minds and everybody starts dropping threes from everywhere, I get you. I don't see that happening. I think this game is made for LeBron James because he owes his team this game. And with no Draymond, it's time for the king to rise and shine. Stephen A., he scored 44 and 39 in games 1 and 2 in this building a year ago. I see no reason why he shouldn't approximate that tonight with no Draymond guarding the rim. If he goes into full-on attack mode from the opening dribble, then I could see him scoring 35 or 40 points. I don't look. Iguodala took him 32 times the other night. He was the primary defender. LeBron went 0 for 2 against Iguodala. He took only 2 shots. What are you doing? He had 3 turnovers against Iguodala. What are you doing? He needs to go into full attack mode right out of the box tonight because they should win this game. I'm going to remind you of this. LeBron made 2 of his rare walk-off shots in regular season games in Oracle. I remember them like I watch every LeBron game. 07, I think it was like February of 07, he made one to win a game at Oracle. And then 2 years ago, just before we were at the All-Star game in New Orleans, he made a big walk-off shot, a big three-point shot to win a game at Oracle. So I'm saying maybe this is the night. Maybe this is the King's night to be the king again. It's made for him, and he owes his team this game. I'm going to go 97-95 visiting team Cleveland tonight.
I will remind you that the Cleveland Cavaliers should have won Friday's game. It should be 2-2.
Totally
but
agree.
I predicted Golden State would win that game. And something tells me that they're going to win tonight. I hope I'm wrong because I want my 7-game series, although I did not want it this way. I did not want it this way. But something tells me this is going to be a bad night for Cleveland. Something tells me that the lack of togetherness, the finger pointing, looking at one another, and I'm not talking about in good moments like, it's not like they hate each other or anything like that. I'm not accusing this team of that. I'm simply saying that the team that Golden State is, Cleveland has tried to learn to become. And they're not there yet in terms of their chemistry, on-court chemistry. Because on far too many occasions, guys are looking at one another saying, you were supposed to do this or you were supposed to do that. They don't seem together in that regard. And in a moment like this, where you really, really got to band together and be together in order to get things right, this is the kind of moment that can be overwhelming. When Golden State goes on one of those runs, doing whatever it is that they do, it might be too much for this Cleveland Cavaliers, character-wise, to overcome. I don't think they're going to get punked. I don't think it's going to be similar to what we witnessed in Game 2 when they just gave up in the second half or anything like that. They laid down that game. I think they could potentially find themselves being overwhelmed by the moment because it's going to be one of those moments where they're required to totally lean on their leader.
Yep.
And LeBron has to be up for it, not as just a leader, but as an individual. LeBron has to embrace this game like he embraced that game at Boston in 2011 when he dropped 45 and 15 in that Game 6.
I agree.
That LeBron has to show up because everybody's coming for him. Because, again, we're talking about just one game. He didn't show up with his aggression, only attempted 16 shots, passed up a dozen shots, left Kyrie hanging by himself, and then on top of it all, instigated and then exacerbated a situation that got Draymond suspended, and then spoke about it in a post-game conference, which and it's not violating any rules or anything like that. But bottom line is, like Draymond said, Draymond was quoted, there's a lot of things that get said on the court with players in the heat of battle, but you never hear about it from me. So that was code for this dude violated something.
He did.
Now that's how people feel. LeBron's got all of that working against him tonight. Do I think he'll respond? Yes. But do I think it'll be enough? I'm leery on that, particularly if Draymond Green finds himself in this building. I'm almost to the point where I'm willing to say, if Draymond is there, the Warriors win. If he's not, they lose.
So even though he's not playing, still a lot will ride on Draymond Green.
He might be there.
Yes.
I would not rule it out.
All right. Skip's going Cleveland, though. Tonight could be the first time ever for the Warriors franchise that they clinch a championship in front of their home fans there in Oakland. We are back at Oracle Arena, Game 5 of the NBA Finals, 9 Eastern on ABC. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8:30 with Sage, Doug, and Jalen. You can also listen to the game on ESPN Radio after the break. Part 1 of ESPN's highly acclaimed series, OJ Made in America. You need to see this. Premiered this week.